All right. So it's Friday. Thank God it is Friday. I am here with my main man, my partner in crime, we've never met physically, so I can't say you're my main squeeze either, right? Mashy.
Fair, fair,
Happy
fair.
Friday.
That's fair.
Happy Friday, Mashy.
Happy Friday, Master Blaster. How are you? How's your week been?
Oh, it's been hectic, busy. Well, I'll tell you how my week's been. So let's get right into our drinks because that
We're going there. This is serious. Like
yes.
we're just gonna go straight to the
So,
drink.
so I'm
Okay.
going to show
Okay.
you how my week's been. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
This is what
Oh, ooh, that
just.
is like there's respect right there. You brought the entire carafe full of beer.
Yeah, I just went and I said I grabbed the pitcher, filling that son of a bitch up because it's been a long week and I want to have a beer the entire show. So
Is
and I
this
did a really good job pouring that one too.
Did you brew this behind the sim wall in your brewery
That's
that is now your simulator?
the no, I did not. But it's funny you said that because these are the old glasses from my brewery, which is Ross Brewing Company. It's backwards, of course, you can't
Nice,
see it.
nice.
No, but
I
this
love
is
that.
what I am drinking is it's Ithaca Brewing Company called Flower Power. And Ithaca is like a really old microbrew. Like they were like a microbrew before microbrews were cool, right?
Okay,
And
okay.
Flower Power is something that's been around for a long time. So hats off to these guys who have survived many years before drinking craft breweries was cool. Yeah.
Do you actually open a whole six pack into the
Oh no,
carafe,
dude,
or or
I have a keg.
or I was gonna say, or did you buy like a mini keg and you put it in your fridge in
Yeah,
the
so
garage?
so now everyone thinks, oh my God, a guy has a keg of that. Well, I have a six stall, which is
Yeah,
one that's
yeah,
tall. But the thing is,
yep,
every week, and I think I have league golf at my house,
yep.
and every night it's usually anywhere from it's a minimum of 8 guys, but sometimes the guys are on bye week still come. So every week we're drinking beer. So I have a couple six stalls down. Everyone usually just gives me a couple bucks, so I just keep beer and on the six stalls, and it just makes things really easy. So
I,
yeah,
I I've always respected the way you roll, and that is now at a new level. Like that is really really well done, my friend.
yeah,
I'm
it's a
I'm impressed.
double keg tap system down there, and I'll drink whatever's on the other tap. I'll save that for next week.
We had a friend. We have a friend, but in a previous life, this friend used to own a brewery downtown, and had an apartment above the brewery, and had keg lines.
Oh
So
yeah,
in his house, he had a bar with taps. The taps would go down to the kegs in the bar
yeah,
downstairs in the brewery, and he would just have a nonstop
that's
supply. So
impressive because you
that's
actually have to run like a special line up through those when they're that long to keep them cool because you can't have
yeah,
the beer get cold or else it's just going to be all foam. Yeah,
that's
that's no joke to do that.
that's good. I mean, it was pretty impressive. So, well,
Yeah.
on one hand, I'm sorry you had that kind of week. On the other hand, I'm glad you did because
Well,
that was awesome. Like
my
that was
goal,
really good.
before we end the night, we're going to see if this is gone.
We may not get through all the courses this week, but we'll finish the beer.
Right. So what do you have in a glass?
I'm keeping with bourbon, like I normally do, and this one is not very good. I have to admit,
Oh
it's
no. Oh no. Is this our
it's
first bad review of what we're drinking?
this one's a little
It's a tragedy.
walk through the subway and then lick the bottom of your shoe,
That
and
bad?
that might be a little better. And I'm not going to say whose bourbon this is. I think that's a little unfair to say whose bourbon it was. If someone really wants to know, DM me in Discord and we'll
No, wait a
discuss
minute.
it.
If
But
it's that bad, if we review a really bad golf course, do we just not say who it is anymore?
no, 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 no. SGT courses are fair game. Once they go into the server, they are fair game. But but I will say this is a bourbon out of Central Texas. I'm not sure how well they're known for their bourbon
Okay.
crafting out of Central Texas. I mean,
So if someone's
I
from
would,
Central Texas, are they going to know what you're talking about?
I
It,
doubt it. It's a
oh,
little
okay.
small,
Okay.
little tiny small brewery in
Okay.
Central Texas, not Austin. For those of you people think Austin, Central Texas, it's not Austin,
Okay.
but it's not good. I just have to say it's really not. And it's a little cloudy.
I was
It
gonna
kind of
say
looks.
it looks like a hazy beer.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna chew on this one for the course of this episode, and we'll see if I finish it.
Now, do you have a whole bottle that you got to get through eventually?
No, this one we bought samplers of,
Oh, okay. You got lucky
so I
there.
have 4 of the little samplers, and this
Yeah.
is the first one I've
That's
opened
that's the
from
thing that makes
them.
me really nervous when I go down to the place where I get my beer, and it's a distributor, and it's really cool. So they keep a lot of these micros and sixtels. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes I
yeah,
haven't tried any of those, and to commit to a sixtel
yeah.
is a little
That's
bit like I'm dropping $120, and I better like it, because if not, that's 2.5 cases of beer I just bought.
I would probably be in my like comfort zone of my 3 or 4 that I like and I go to all the time versus like sure I'll just throw it, for that reason.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm adventurous
so
that way.
so let's change gears a little bit. We do have a lot of courses to talk about today. We'll get
Oh,
to that too.
yeah.
But I was thinking this week. So
Uh-oh.
we are lucky because
Uh-oh.
I know it's dangerous. I know everybody. Lenny, cue the beautiful mind, like I'm using my brain. I'm a mathematician in music, but
All right,
I
here
was
it comes.
thinking earlier this week. We get to work with some pretty cool, not work. It's all fun, but like in this Discord, in our building stuff, there's some pretty amazing people who do some really great work. Okay, um, you know, the guys behind the scenes, DP, Roberts, and
Right.
John, and Stinger Eye, and those guys, and even our other fellow designers who share assets and
Yeah.
come up with new creative ways of doing it. So we get some really amazing people that we get to kind of interact with through this interaction that we do, and some of the stuff that is coming is pretty freaking cool. Okay, so I was thinking that we need to introduce an occasional new segment called nicknames. I think some
Isn't
folks
that
need
every
some
week?
nicknames.
It's every week we do the nicknames. Come on.
Well, we need to do so. Like I was thinking, for the big 3. Like we're gonna start with the big 3 this week. I don't
Okay.
even know if Sting or DPR or John even watch this, right?
I
But
don't think
care.
they
We're
do.
gonna. I think we need to.
They
come
shouldn't
up
be.
with
They should be
pretty
busy with those V4 tools.
exactly. And I was thinking about like DPR to me is the magician. He
Yes.
takes an idea.
He's Harry Potter.
He's Harry Potter. He disappears into like a back room somewhere. He goes away, and then he pops out, and it's like poof. Here's
Alabasham.
here's what you're looking for. So I dub thee the magician.
Yeah.
I don't know if it sticks or not, but I think he's like the magician. John is the architect. John is like his work on the tools, his work on the base pack, the way he codes the scripts inside of Unity and says, and I'll reach out and say, dude, this is broken. He'll like go bloobity blobbity blah 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 blah. He'll say a whole lot of stuff. I'll understand this much of it,
And end it with a
and then
cheerio.
and it'll pop out a result. So like he's like the architect, okay?
Oh yeah.
In my mind, like I think the work he does
Well,
on
I
this
also think
is
when you
just
say architect, you ever seen what's the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where the dreams, and they have an architect that
transcendence.
or
No, not trans.
oh,
It
or
begins with an yes, I
trans.
know exactly what.
All right. Well, someone comment in the comments, tell us what that is, because yes, but that's the kind of architect I'm thinking he is, though. Is that kind
Yes,
of crazy, like,
crazy.
yes.
Yes,
Yep.
agreed, 100%. Sting needs an art. Sting needs
Oh
a
boy.
nickname, and he can't be Stinger Eye because I can't say his name half the time, right? But I've been
Stingray.
trying
Stingray.
to
There we go.
Stinger Eye.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to come up because and where I'm going with in Sting one is always available. Like the dude has never not taken an
Oh,
IM or I mean he and I have probably chatted on
and I'm
Discord.
hard about that because I have such limited times, and people reach out to me, and I'm so short with them,
Yeah,
and I come
yeah,
across as being, frankly, an
an
asshole,
ass.
and I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
yeah.
I just don't have time.
Several people have commented to me that you seem like that. No, I'm kidding.
I
They
wouldn't surprise me, because like I look back and like when people, I'm like on the middle of trying to do something, but I want to get back to them, so it's 5 sentences, and I'm like, I look like an asshole. I want to
yeah,
help. I just don't have enough time. I don't.
so he's always available. Like I want to call him the helper, but I also know like he's a
I know it.
master
I know what he
at
is. I have it.
okay, okay.
He's the psychiatrist.
Oh, I like that.
The
I
shrink.
like
Call him the
that. The
shrink.
shrink. The shrink. The shrink. I
Yes.
like that. So we've got the magician, the architect, and the shrink. And
Walk into
and
a
those
bar. Here we go.
and out come some of the most amazing tools for us to go use from
It's
these
great.
three. So I was thinking that so every it won't do it every time. We'll come up with nicknames, even though I think Discord names are nicknames to start with, but
Hmm.
we'll go from there. I just thought it was they are deserved a little more than their standard Discord names because of all they do and what they do.
Yeah, these guys are amazing. We certainly wouldn't be having this show without them, right?
That's true. That's very true. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Agreed. So there we go. We have the magician, the architect, and the shrink. I expect Discord names to be changed as
You
soon as
could,
we launch
and
this
you know what their
episode.
nickname could for all three of them could be now? Sam, shrink, architect, musician.
The Sam. They
Call.
come in like a missile. No, I'm kidding.
It's great. Oh man, we're on to something here. Ah, it's
Now
funny.
we got to figure out who the next round of nicknames goes to.
Oh, jeez. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be the Patreon guys.
Yeah, it's going to be the Patreon guys.
Yep.
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 Yep. We'll have to figure those out.
All right.
All
So I
right.
guess on to business, right?
Down to business.
So I tell you what, this week was fun. Um, I can't
Yeah.
recall. So this is our 10th episode. I
Yeah.
can't recall having a week where we have 8 courses this week. I
Yeah.
don't recall having such high caliber courses, this many courses in one week.
I'm giving a huge golf clap to all of the designers this week.
Yeah.
Every one of
Well
y'all
done.
released great courses this week. We are hard and listen, we don't look for small little nitpicky things. We are hard pressed to find stuff. It just
Yeah.
looked really good.
As a matter of fact, we're so hard. We're just making shit up this week.
We are. We're
Yeah.
just making shit up. Get
Yeah.
ready, Ryan. We're
I
coming
went.
at you with a bunch of made
I
up
went
shit.
into Photoshop and I fucked your shit up. That's what I did. Yeah. So first of all, we got Bay Hill by Pac-Man, which of course was where the PGA this week. So Pac-Man, dude, I want to give you a hug, a high five, a pat on the ass because version 8 in 1 week, you went all out. V4
Yeah.
tools, I know what you went through. I feel for you. You're also trying to build other people's courses for your Patreon. You got commission courses, and high five, man.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm going to add to all the things he wants to give you is I just want to give you also a punch in the stomach because I also got a 13 on hole 5 with 3 balls in the water off the tee. I hate this course. I actually love this course in so many ways,
You
but I
hate the
hate this
course, you
course.
like the design, right?
I love the design. I hate the
Yeah,
course. Correct.
yeah. And then we've got 2 courses, and so this is the sex week. We have
It is sex. Yeah, it
we
is
have
the sex.
East
It is the
Sussex
sex.
National East Course, and we'll come back to that when we get to runs courses because that's another one. So it's a very sexy week. We got East
That
Sussex.
was I can't tell you how much I love that. That's the best thing you've said in all the episodes. Like, that is so good.
Well, trust me, I've still got some beer here. It gets better. I got a couple. Just wait till we get the runs course. So we got East Sussex National East Course. God, and it's like East Sussex National West Course. And like, why would you have East Sussex National West and like East? Why just make it Sussex National East and Sussex National West? Come on. Nothing against Gojo Holo. It's not his choice, but come
I,
on. And it's
I
I guess it's because
I'm
it's in
just
East
still
Sussex, UK. I don't.
I'm just still struggling with the fact that like it's a twofer. Like I was
Yes.
saying, it's you get two for one.
Yeah.
It's twice the sex in 1 week. I mean, it's
Yeah.
great.
Oh, I love it. It's plenty. It's plenty of sex, right? Um, we'll talk. We're going to go into all these. We'll have some screenshots of those as well.
He's
So
got a bunch of courses out too. He's
yeah,
not a new
yeah. And
designer
he did
anyway.
something
Yep.
really unique, which actually we're going to get into as well, which I love.
Yep.
We got Ravenwood Golf Club. So this is a rookie, right? Guy getting his blue
Yep.
Maston step, or did
This
he
is
have an on?
blue. This should yeah.
This is blue. Okay. Victor, New York. Well, I'll talk a little bit about Victor, New York, and why that's kind of near dear to my heart.
It's next to Steve, New York, where our producer lives.
Oh, okay. Royal Canberra. in Australia. So I tell you what, we are touring the world this week. We've got West Coast, right? No, we got East Coast. We got
East
Michigan
Coast.
here. We've got Australia. We got UK. So man, we are going global world tour.
We're global.
Rock
We are
stars.
global now.
It's
I
like the
agree.
rock
Yeah,
star tour,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
And I
that's
love. And how many courses does he have out now? This is.
if I
I
had
have
to
to look
guess,
and
I'd say
see.
three. Three?
Yeah, I'm gonna double check that. I don't think he's. I think he's already blue.
Yeah, I think. Oh, he's definitely blue. He's had a course
Yeah.
out. Yeah, yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Puff Dragon.
I love the name. I just love the name. He's another one where I love the name. By the way, for the record,
It could only be better if he did Puff Dragon 69.
we did not
Especially
get as
during
much
sex week.
feedback. Yes, and we didn't get as much feedback last week on our name discussion as I thought we would get. I thought Dickie One Eye. I mean, there was some, and I do appreciate it. And I get it because, listen, I got to go back. I'm sorry, Lenny, cue or Steve, cue up the remembrance music now because I want to go back one
The
week really
reflection
quickly.
music.
Reflection music, exactly. So Dickie One. I still can't say it without being Dickie One Eye.
Sticky?
I get that the guys at work told you it's because you fall asleep with one eye open. That's not really why they named it. Maybe what they told you, but sure, come on, man. It's so good.
I just had beer come out my nose.
It's so good. I just can't stop saying it.
We gotta move on. People are tired of this crap.
Keep going. Keep going.
Then True North by the great Bangini. He's the magician.
We've already designated, so he will have to be Ron Weasley. No, I don't know.
What's a Dumbledore?
Well, the great powerful though. Yeah, the great Dumbledore.
Yeah, I would like to hear that story behind that name though. That's pretty good too.
I do too. Great Bangini, tell us in the comments or in Discord your name. I want to hear that. Yep.
Yeah, and then we have another sex course.
So
I was talking to my wife and I said, my favorite course is more sex, and she said, well, my favorite course is no sex. So and that's how we talk about intercourse.
Is that where you meet in the middle?
Yeah, that's my dirty dad joke for the day, right?
Yeah, it is. That was such a dad joke.
Totally. But that's a dad joke I can't tell my kids.
You've been saving it all week for that, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yes, yes. All right. And then Windstone, another one by Mr. Rudpun Run.
Yep. Rudpun Run.
There's Georgia. So we are all over the place.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get in.
Yeah. So let's East Sussex. Let's talk the first sex. We're gonna have a threesome today, right? Because we got three of them.
We got three of them exactly.
So now we have
of golf courses.
The East Sussex National East Course. So out of the UK.
And I'd say it more regally. I think it needs more regal.
Like the Queen plays here, right?
Yes.
I didn't know. Is this a famous course? Should I know this? Because I'm new to golf. Should I know this course because it's the European Open Championship? I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it before today?
East Sussex. I actually think I don't know if it's East or West, but I believe the Sussex National courses have hosted a Ryder Cup in the past.
Okay.
Maybe. They're pretty popular courses.
Okay. And then here's the stats on the West course. I'm assuming
you can tell they're champion. It's 7,100. You can tell they're championship courses.
Yeah. So I talked to Gojo Holo. I was talking to him, and I said, by the way, every time I hear his name, I think Gojo, and everyone's like, well, Gojo, like, Go G.I. Joe, and like, no. When I was a kid, there was a thing called a Gojo, and this is a picture of have you ever seen one of these, Mashi? A Gojo?
No, I have never. No. What the hell is
it? It is like the original four-wheeler. These were like in the 70s and 80s, and a friend of mine had one, and we would go over to his house and jump on this thing and spin around for hours. It was called a Gojo. If you do a search on the internet, this is a Gojo. And so now this is a newer looking one. Now the one that this friend of mine had was beat to shit. And I'm surprised I'm here talking to you because we should have died on this thing, honestly. I remember we would get on and you see the engines in the back and it's like all exposed back there, right? And this
Yep.
thing would never start. It's not an
Was
electric
it
start,
fast?
not terribly fast, maybe like 30, 40 miles an hour. Okay. I mean, that's not,
So so it's kind of like wedding crashers when they go and sell the scooters.
yeah, yeah. But
They
this was
go
like
really slow.
we were out in an open field. So, but the thing that made it dangerous to me though was when his dad, we would say, hey, his dad's name was Spike. This weird child, Spike. That's going to be someone's next nickname, Spike. Um,
Like, oh, I like that. Yeah.
so he would have to come out and start this thing for us because it was like he had to get back there and pull this rope to get this thing started, but it would never start. And he'd have to take starter fluid and open up the carburetor, spray starter fluid in it, and then 50% of the time it would catch on fire. And then he'd be putting it out, and we'd wait a half an hour for the fluid and stuff to disperse, and then he'd go back and start it again. We cross the freeway. It's going to start this time, yes. And then we never wanted to stop because you never want to have to start the thing again. So anyway, so Gojo
And
Holo,
there's a
thank you,
Gojo.
yes,
Now we know what a
thank
Gojo
you
is.
for the memories, thank you for the
I
memories.
I'm a smarter person because of it.
So I played through this course, and I personally love. Not only does it look good, again, we'll talk to you about that, but I just love the course because I'm a little bit of a sprayer. I'm a new golfer. It was a little bit more open. I'm beginning to find that I do like just the style of UK courses, and I
Yeah.
guess I'm going to have to plan a trip there to play some of these someday because I really like them.
How
Uh,
about we should do a B2B trip where we all go and bring some designers. We all go spend a week in the UK playing courses.
yes. So this is T Box One. Um, I think you inserted this, and maybe when you were
I put
flying around, you found something
Yep,
here.
yep. This is the water. Just one thing, Gojo, just so you know, right by the water on number one, which is why I put it right here on the east course, the water plane's high. And so
Uh,
when you're on the green putting, that's the only reason I saw it. I was on the green putting back towards the hole, towards that water piece there, and you can see the edge of the water planes. Just a heads
yeah.
up, you just need to adjust that.
Yeah. Another thing you can do is don't forget you can also plant on the water top. So if you want to bring those, maybe he probably did this on purpose, but if you want to bring those
Yep,
cattails up to the top, you could plant those using like a persistent with the collider on there, and it'll sit on top.
yep.
And you can also use terrain IDs to do things like that too. Um, and then here is East Sussex. This is the West Coast hole number one, and obviously he put a lot of thought and detail. I'm not sure what this building is in real life. Maybe it's the starter shack. Um, but I love the look and feel of this course.
I do too.
He also did, I think, a fantastic job of giving this, and I'm assuming it's a way in real life, just this dry burnout look. So
I
like
do
the
agree.
fairways are green, but the off the fairway and some of the rough areas, it just looks scorched, which is
Yep,
fantastic, really
yep,
realistic looking. I also love this mini map. If I look at this, that looks like a satellite image. I mean, it
yeah,
is just the textures and what he did. I'm assuming maybe he used the real sat overlay as his sat overlay, and that's how it got that way. But it looks really good. Here's another spot which kind of shows you some of these browned out areas, which I love. The trees just are good placement for the trees. I love where this tree is at, and maybe it is there in real life. I don't know. It's just good placement because it changes how the hole plays. It kind of forces you
agreed.
right a little bit, which in a fairly open course, it helps to have things like that to make it not overly
You got to cut
easy.
around that tree a
Yes.
little bit from that back
Which,
tee. And I also like the hue variation he did on the trees. They look very
yeah.
natural. Like, yep,
Well,
good
not only
depth on
that,
them.
but all the hues across, there's nothing here that stands out to me as out of place,
Yep,
right? Um,
agreed.
I love it. Oh, so I'm glad I got this. This is what I was talking about with this burnout. Okay, so on the right we have a fairway of one of the holes. On the left we have a green, a little bit farther back, another fairway. But in the middle area there, burnout. Okay,
Burnout. It's so
burnout.
good.
This is like August in Pennsylvania, right? And I'm assuming I've never been to the UK to play a course, but I assume it's the same way there. It just looks fantastic, fantastic.
Yep. Say it looks like they've been watering the fairways and the
Yeah.
rough's all dying out. Yep.
So another thing I noticed, let me back up here. When I looked at all the way out at that clubhouse, I was like, oh, and I flew closer. I was like, oh man, he even put cars out in the parking lot. And I was like, yeah, he put cars there. It's like, no, he didn't. That's just a
No.
satellite overlay. Didn't waste his time putting cars, but guess what? He didn't need to because it was so far out and the flyovers, it was far enough away. He didn't need to put the cars in there,
Yep.
but it looks like he did. All
Yep.
right. So that's just, and I see a lot of things that he does, or which you can tell he's got some experience on what's important, what's the golfer going to see, and where should I spend my time. Now, this shot, you would think I'm going to ridicule him because he's got grass coming up, and I'm not. The reason I have this up here is because he had to break his loops because you can't have donuts. You can, but you have to punch them out. But the bottom
Yep.
line is this isn't any place where the golfer sees it. Okay, so this is a place where he broke his cart pass up a little bit,
Yep.
and then I kind of explored a little bit, and so here's a loop, but down here, and I don't have my mouse highlighted, so maybe hopefully you guys will see. There's two golf carts parked here, right? That's where he broke the car. Like he parked it right on top
It's
of it.
smart. It's
Jeez,
so
man,
smart.
it's so simple and so brilliant. I'm doing it. Sorry, I'm stealing your idea, but that's where he broke his cart path. Um,
Yeah.
that's the
And
thing
listen,
is, yeah, I love it.
for newer designers too, I've made this mistake, and most of what we talk about from our own mistakes of doing this, but for newer designers, do not feel like you have to spline one, every single bit of cart path you see,
Yep,
and two, they don't have to all be one giant. Listen, I know your tendency, mine as well, is to I'm going to make one giant complete loop of every single cart path. Break it up. Find a spot that's between holes,
yep,
end your spline, and break it up, and it'll look better. It'll work better. It'll perform better. Or do it like this and hide it with an asset like a golf cart, and no one will know. It looks great.
yeah,
It's a brilliant move.
yep. Absolutely fantastic. So this was just another spot where I just like to burn out grass. And here's another thing is that when I fly in close, right? So out
Yep.
this it still looks good. And
It looks so good.
there was never any spot when I'm flying in where it changes. Like sometimes you'll see when you're flying, all of a sudden the grass turns green and then you're up close. It doesn't. Like the hue of this grass matches the mesh underneath really
It
well.
does. And this goes back to what we've been talking about the last few episodes, right? Where when you're having a sat shader and you're doing satellite 3DG on top and they match perfectly, this is the result you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus not doing it, and it doesn't mean you don't have to do it, but this is what you get with it.
Yep. Um, so this was the
So
clubhouse. I just want to show. Now this is a really bad screenshot because it makes it look like the windows are all funky, but it doesn't look
no,
that bad when you're playing. I would say the only critique I would have here is maybe just darken them a little bit and you won't get that effect as much, but I don't know. It was fine. It's just a bad screenshot. Now, he and I did have a good laugh because I was looking around the course. Look at this flag, his custom flag.
yeah.
He messed up his transparency. So it looked like someone shot it out with a shotgun. You could see through it. So he and I were giggling about it. And I said, we'll have a good laugh of it during the show. And he might have been a little worried about, oh my God, you're going to talk. I was like, dude, it's fine. All right. Don't
It's
worry
all
about
good.
he
These are
had
great.
a. I said, "Oh, it looks like someone hit with a shotgun." He goes, "No, there's just a lot of moths at that course." So
Well,
it
listen,
was good.
Gojo, great both courses. Great
Yeah.
job so far.
Oh,
Like, look, oh yeah, I love the custom tee markers.
and these are good. These are very subtle. They're not in your face. I had to fly in to look at this. It's kind of a shame people don't get to see them, but
I
I
agree.
just love the detail. I appreciate it. Thank you very
Yep.
much. Now there is
Yep.
something I forgot, and I was going to talk about this at the beginning, which is let me
I'm waiting.
here we go.
Um,
Okay.
oh
So
yeah.
he
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
has been a
Yeah.
proponent of this and what I'm going to talk about here for a long time. He's been trying to
Yep.
get this done, and this
Yep.
shows to me two things. One, it just shows the power of GSPro, how the developers are willing to listen to designers and people when they have a very strong opinion and they think it's a good idea, right?
Yep.
And I'm going to explain what this idea is in a second. Just bear with me. The second thing is his persistence, because this is something he's wanted for a long time. And I'll be completely honest, it was something when I heard it, he talked about like months and months ago. I was kind of like, meh. Because
See, I was opposite. When I heard he wanted this a couple months ago, I'm
I've
100% all
changed.
in.
I've changed my
Okay.
mind though. All
Okay.
right,
Did
because
this course make you change your mind after seeing it or
after
what?
seeing it now, I've changed my mind, and here's why.
Okay.
First of all, I believe that a driving range in a simulator is the biggest waste of time. Okay. Now you're going to say, well, wait a minute. Well, let me explain the feature first. The feature is that he's going to give, with a new version of Greenkeeper and some added functionality GSPro, you're going to be, this is the beta version I'm showing you right now. You can go head to the range. And if that course has the range designed and configured, you can go, let me just go show you here. You can go to the range of that course. So if that course,
That's so awesome.
so like Kapalua has a range. So now I'm going to do that for Kapalua. Now,
Yep.
I think having a range in a simulator is the biggest waste of time. However, I think for the experience and what we're looking for a lot of these courses, including like when I make Kapalua and you make Augusta, and maybe I shouldn't say that word, right?
Yeah. We don't
When
have Augusta on
when you
here,
make
so
East Sussex, right? You're looking for the immersive experience, which is I want to go and play this course. Well, part of that is, hey,
yeah.
warming up on their driving range. Maybe you just want to see what their range. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not about improving my game. It's about just the experience. And when my friends come over and we play a course, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to go warm up on the East Sussex National East Course driving range.
Same.
Um,
That has been why I've been a huge proponent of this, and I had
and
nothing to
here it
do with
is.
getting this. Here it is, and you are. It's the same. It's the burned out. I think it is wonderful to be able to hit the range of the course you want to play. I wanted it for a long time. I always build out the ranges and all the courses that I do in hopes that someday this feature would come. And I'm really glad that he stayed persistent on it and helped get
Yeah.
this through because
So
you're right. It's the experience. You
he
want to be
proved me
able to
wrong.
warm up.
I was kind of like meh, but
Yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you.
it's great. We'll dig in deeper in another episode on your absolute hate for driving rangers and simulators. I'd love to put on my armchair Freud hat and dig deeper into your psyche on issues with ranges, but that's for a
Yeah.
later episode.
Yeah. So then when you're done at the range, your friends are done warming up, you hit tee off and it takes you right to the first tee, which
I
is
love it. I
it's
love it.
and the implementation is just smooth too. I like the fact that you just tee off and off,
Yep.
here we
You
go.
don't have to exit and then create a new
Yes,
round.
it is. It
Yes.
is definitely an experience thing. I like it. Well done. Hats off. Hats off.
Okay.
Ravenwood. Moving on, boy, because we're going to
Yeah.
have a long show today,
Yeah,
and
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to finish this picture because we're going long. Um, Mast
We'll
and
speed
Step.
up.
Is he new? Is he? Is this another first course?
I
Mast.
think he is new. I think this might be blue badge for him.
Okay.
Let me see. I will pull it up while you're talking and
Okay.
find out.
So this is in Victor, New York, which is up near the Finger Lakes, which I love this. I've never played the course, but I'm very familiar with Finger Lakes. We take a trip up there every year with an adult trip. We take 6 couples and we go up and we drink our asses off for the weekend with no kids.
Given the theme of this show, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm
Yeah.
not going
And they have wineries up there, and the wine's it's no California. But now they have all these breweries up there. So when I see Victor, New York, I knew that right exact where that is. So I'm like, maybe I
Yep.
got to turn this into a semi, golf trip as well one of these years. Um, so first tee, and I saw just a lot of fun courses on here. Now, when I first turned this on, it was after watching my sexy courses. I mean, East Sussex courses, and I was like, whoa, too much green. But then I realized those Sussex courses were so brown and dry that this
Yeah.
just looked, it was kind of like going from jungle to desert and desert to jungle. Kind of like, not sure.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
That
So
was my first
if you're
impression as
seeing this
well.
right now and you're like, well,
Yeah.
this is way too green. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought the same thing.
Now, very different course though. It's like more of a parkland course. It doesn't have the UK feel, which it shouldn't, because this isn't in Hector, New York. One thing I noticed right away, and now someone else that's proved me wrong now. So he did custom T marks, these
Yep.
ravens on the side, and I usually
Yep.
tell people, hey, face them back towards the camera so people can see. But he did something really cool here, which was he just made them really wide. And if you look at them
Yep.
from the side, they're hugely wide. So I don't know if he did these on purpose or if they're like this in real life. They're so wide that from behind you can actually tell what they are, which are these
Yeah, look
birds
good.
outspread. So well done. You can actually have your T markers facing in like that, and it works. So well done. Thumbs up. Uh, what else do we have here? Oh, I like how I think he used my bunker tutorial here because he did the shadows around the outside, which without those, these would be like pancake bunkers. But
Yep.
with that, they look good.
They
Honestly,
look good.
they look really good. Uh, his grasses are almost perfect. Okay,
Yep.
almost. And the only critique I would say is the green grasses so the color's good. The green grass that you see here, lower it a little, the flowers raise them up. I think grasses look really good and very natural when the flowers are peeking up out
Mm,
above everything. And the thing is, if you're not where I'm at right now, you don't even really see the flowers. So if you just
right.
raise those up and lower the grasses, here, for example, I think if you raise those flowers up so they're just poking above the grass, this like a shot like this would look so much better. Um,
Yeah, and one rule of thumb, which and you've instilled this in me, which I do all the time now, and I think it goes across multiple things, is look at the course from different angles of where the golfers are. Like
yeah,
I know we talk about doing that with with reflection probes, right?
yeah,
Stand at where and look at the reflection probe. But same here, you can't see the flowers, right?
yeah,
So before you finalize everything, just go to the green and stand on it and look around and be like, can I see the flowers? If not, raise them up a little.
yeah. Um, So this is 18. Obviously, we have a custom flag here,
Custom
which is
flag,
I
custom
like it.
asset in the
Well done.
background,
Yep, the
clubhouse.
clubhouse. The
Yep,
tree coloring is good here. I like again, this is a good example of just the colors working well together to have like
yep,
a central theme, which to me is a bright sunny day in a central New York course around the Finger Lakes, right? Um, Billboards are almost there. You almost got them. They're
almost.
yeah, they're a tad dark. And also see how so the billboards you can see go across the middle here. And this line isn't horrible. And I didn't notice this on course, so really this isn't a big deal. But the problem is all the billboard colors are nearly the same, but the trees are different colors. So make sure when you adjust your billboards, do it on a per tree basis. Don't set your billboards all to the same color. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yep.
but yeah, well
Looks
done.
pretty far. It's pretty far off the course though, which is good
Yeah, it
enough. You don't
is.
really
That's
need it.
why it's probably irrelevant, and I'm not even sure if it's worth his time to fix it.
Yep,
But everything else looked
yep.
great. I love the course. Well done for a first course. Better than my first course. Put it that way.
No, by same by far. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then the
West,
the West Sex.
the West Sex. The West.
uh,
I can't
okay.
even. I can't. I can't. That's just.
So run, pud,
I
run. Another UK. Now, do you think is it just coincidence that these two came out in the same week? That we have East Sussex,
I
West
like to think it's
Essex.
just. Yeah, I like to think it's just a coincidence, but in
I like
life
I
there are
saw
no
these names and I
coincidences.
was like, oh, these guys had to work this out together for something, or there's some
Exactly.
big
It's
tournament happening there this week, right? Um,
Listen, we need to we're going to give Run love. Like I know we were a little hard on Run on a previous course a couple episodes ago.
yes, and I had a chat with
He
him, and I said, come on, you have to agree with what I said. And he's like, I do, and I was like, come
I
on.
do. It's how you get it. And he's a good friend where we do a lot. We share,
Yes,
we talk, we do all kinds of stuff. Run for your two courses this week. I'm going to go ahead online and say it. You've knocked it out of the park.
yeah,
These are
well done.
both fantastic courses.
Yep, but I do know you didn't do that damn house yourself.
I know you didn't, but that's okay. It looks damn good.
It is still good though. Grasses look good here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also just really interesting how different these courses are, but they all look good. He has definitely a different approach to the grass, right?
He changed up textures on these two courses too. He was
Yeah,
trying, and I like it. I like experimenting. And so he and I were chatting before we recorded today, and he was saying he changed up some of the textures and tried some new techniques. Little differences than he's done in the past, and it
yeah.
worked.
That's good. Because you definitely could find yourself. I could see the Patreon guys getting stuck in a rut where you just kind of you get to the
Yeah.
old reliable trees, you get to the old reliable textures, the colors, and you're
Yep.
cranking these out and instead of experimenting. And I feel like
Yep.
I think he mixed things up. I'm not used to him having maybe such a this has a lot of depth to
It
me.
does. It does. It's really well done. It's just
Yeah,
really the colors are so good on this course. I'm going to go back when something we did talk about in a course a couple episodes ago, and I've done a little research on this. I think what we said was on a course, the green wasn't green enough. It was kind of like if you think about the green gets the most water and then it kind of
yeah,
goes out, and it was all opposite. I've actually found I think that's incorrect in all honesty because of the grass material on the greens in general. While yes, they get a lot more water, they don't green up as green
Oh,
as
I
fairways
shouldn't say
really
that
do.
they should be green, but they shouldn't be brown. Put it
Correct.
that
And
way.
so like this is I think a great you can tell just a deep watered
Yes.
rough area with the green. It's the right. I just think it looks great. The shading in the bunkers looks
Yeah.
great.
Because
The
one of the
cart
things is
path
when
with
I
the
look, because I'm working on Kapalua, and I really need. They have very interesting greens. They have like these spots in them,
yep
right? Which is
yep.
very different, and I'm gonna have to be very careful how I do those because they could look
I
awful.
think you need to do a research trip out to Kapalua and
Mhm.
go play it
I'll
for
I'll
some.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. This has to be an R. Dyer clubhouse. I mean, that's really well done. That clubhouse is really well
You
done.
think, or is that? Yeah, he's so good. I agree.
That is not a DPR house builder clubhouse by any
That's not
means.
a house builder clubhouse.
No.
That's an art dyer. Yeah,
Yeah, especially with how much depth he has in the stone here. He
yeah.
definitely did some normal map work. So yeah, I would think Ron, let us know. I'm not sure if he
It
was.
looks great.
Is he missing a flag up here? Is he supposed to have a flag up there? I don't know.
I don't know. All I
I
know is
honestly, I don't know if I want a flag. It might be a little distracting, but
I want our dyer to package up all this stuff for me to use
right?
whenever I need
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So I just thought this is off of one. I thought this was entertaining and I loved it, which is this road right in the middle of the like you would tee off across this road. It reminds me of a couple Central PA courses where you sometimes you got to get a guy out there to make sure there's no cars coming, you know. So it's like, for me, there's been a couple times in where I'm playing and I hit a ball and you hear a car come down the road and you're like, oh shit, you know. So just I thought that was very entertaining. I love it, stuff like that.
Yep. Yep. Agreed.
Did you put this in here? Or did I put this in here? Maybe it
You
just
did, not me. I did not
okay.
put this one in. It looks good, but I didn't
Yeah,
put it in.
I'm not sure why I put it in here. Maybe it's just because it was a good-looking bunker. I think maybe it's the grass. I like the grass. Um, yeah, I think it was just full grass. It looked like there's a ton of grass, but performance was fine. Um,
Performance is great. Yeah.
yeah, Run really likes to take that dual texture grass and like do dark and light, which I know you like. I'm not comfortable with it. I
We'll win you
respect it.
over.
Yes, I respect it. I can't release a course like this not and when I see it right now, it doesn't bother me, but he's got balls. The guy's got balls to do it.
I want to try a triple. I want to try a tri-texture grass
Ooh,
to see how it works. I
yeah.
think you can get some really good depth with it.
I just like to put this one there because it looked really narrow, and I bet it makes
Yeah.
Run Pud like his hair stand up on the back of his neck.
You realize we give him such a hard time on that, he's going to become a master at the
Uh,
narrow shot, right? The
now,
shoot.
because I like to pick on him. I did find one mistake, which is I think his
Meow.
sat shader had something funky on here. It looks like a cat.
Meow.
I don't know if he like just he probably put his mouse over top of it and did something, but I think this that's why I put this on here. So this is 10. I think this is a bunker off the middle of the fairway in 10 where something with his sat shader had this weird spot on it. Look, yeah, meow, cat.
It's the cat bunker.
It's the cat bunker. I'd
It's the
say
cat
keep it
bunker.
because now when I play
I
it,
do
I'm gonna be
too.
like, hey, it's the cat bunker. Yeah.
It's an Easter egg.
And the thing is, you don't even see it if you're not flying around and being an asshole like I am, right? This was 18, and I love there were a couple holes where he's got these hedges just going
In
right in the middle.
front
So
of
if
the.
you hit a worm burner, you're screwed. But I did go
Yep.
up there. I don't think he's
Yep.
got colliders on in the hedges. I think he turned them off. There's one
Oh,
thing
you should put the colliders on. I flew
I
over
thought
them
so
when I played
too.
it, but you should put the
Yeah,
colliders
I
on.
thought so too, but I think he's gotten enough shit from other people for putting colliders on stuff like that that he just doesn't want to deal with it anymore, which is a shame.
I agree. He had that one course where it was semi rough that rolled all the way down, and
Yeah,
he
and
wanted to
people
change. And
they
yeah,
complain
yeah,
about
yeah,
stuff. Yeah, I think you should put the colliders on because I like the
yeah.
I would definitely
I do
be
too. I like the
I'd be in the
realism. Put the
bush.
colliders on.
Yeah, and the people that play there are like, yeah, man, those bushes suck. And
Yep. I've lost a ball in there and I hit it 3 feet.
yeah, and again, I bet Run just kind of like hates looking at courses like this because it's so narrow. Tree line. You put this one in. I didn't see this spot. This is pretty cool looking. This looks like a
I thought,
signature
yeah,
area.
this is I think right off 17. I was coming up 17 and I always try to look around at different angles, and this was like 17 looking back across one of the other earlier holes. And again, it was just really well done. The
Yeah,
combination of the grasses and the reflection and the pond and the island in the middle, and
yeah.
it was great. It
The
was
birch
beautiful.
trees look good. I just cannot get birch trees. Like the bark always just is. I just can't get the lighting right on the birch trees.
Mm.
They look glow for me, but thankfully we don't have a lot of birch trees in the courses I do. So yeah. Oh, this is
I
just
put this
another.
one in
Yeah,
coming up 18. This was the approach shot from 18,
yeah. I thought this
and
was
it
cool.
just
It was like
looks
a
great.
blind green landing up there. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, pretty big elevation coming up the hill, and you can't even see the green. And there's your flagpole without a flag on it. So I agree, it's too distracting. You don't need a flag on it.
yeah. And then a picture of the clubhouse, which is
Yep.
pretty cool.
Yep.
Yep.
Really well done. Nice job, Ron. Great
Yep.
job.
Beer. I'll drink to that. Oh,
I'll drink to that.
yep. Time for another beer.
Refill.
Yep. So Royal I'm assuming that's Canberra
Canberra, I think.
in Australia, mate.
I was gonna try my Australian accent, but it sounds much like my UK accent, which doesn't sound much different than my American. So
Now is Puff?
I
Is
won't.
he from Australia? There are a
I
couple
don't know.
guys who are from Australia that I know have design courses, but I'm not sure if he is.
And I'm checking main step, by the way, that was his first course, so that'll be his blue.
Yeah.
And then I was just checking on Puff to see how many courses he's put
So
out. I know he's
quick
got a couple.
quick note here. So see how the par threes have a index. I see a lot of people they don't put an index on their par threes because they probably don't know what it is because those tees don't exist in real life.
I do that
Just
too. Yeah.
just put those numbers in that are right there. That's the safest way to
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
So you played this one. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of looking at this one, but it looks. I mean, from what I'm seeing, it looks fantastic.
So this course, all the courses are great. This course brought a whole lot of joy and smile to my face. Okay. Not just because it looks great. Okay. It does. It looks great. It performs great. You can see I got 123 frames a second on the first tee.
Yeah.
And that was not with VSync off. That was a VSync on. So the performance was through the roof the entire course. It was it takes courses to a little bit of a next level with the detail that he put in. Okay. And on this one, which was hole 2, I'm starting with, you can see custom tee boxes, tee markers, excuse me, custom tee markers. I love the walk bags off to the left side. It reminds me of me and my buddies. We're out there in our walk bag. We walk every course, and the bags are always off to the left there.
Yeah.
And sure enough, if you want to hit the next one, while I'm getting ready to tee off, what goes walking across the
So
front of the course?
this was animated.
It was animated koala walking across. Thank you, aka Bears on Bear Dance. You're welcome. No, I'm kidding.
It was an
No,
homage to you. He was calling you out.
very well done. Really, I mean, I was like, what the hell was that? Oh, whoa! And I actually restarted the hole because I wanted to see the animation again. I kept waiting for it to come, and I started flying around looking for it because I wasn't sure what it was. And I got up close. It's a koala
That's
bear
cool.
walking across the.
That's
It was
cool. That's a
awesome.
nice touch. Yeah,
It's
definitely
a
a nice
nice touch,
touch.
and he does that all over the course. I found myself on every hole, not just enjoying the golf, looking for the little Easter eggs,
Now
and he has them all over the course.
let me back up here a second. Hold on. These trees, they look a little bit like there's too much smoothness going on. Is that just
Yep.
a screenshot thing, or was
I think it's a screenshot because I don't remember seeing it in
okay?
game.
Okay,
So
so maybe
I'm
that's
assuming it was a copying it from the
because
GSPro
this
into
tree over
the.
here looks like very ghost-like. I wasn't sure
Yeah,
if
I don't remember. I mean, I would have called it
now
if I
since
saw it
I
in
didn't
game. I
look at
don't
the
remember.
course, and I apologize. I have to play this
Yeah,
one.
no,
I
but
apologize.
really, really well done. If you want to go on to the next slide, um, I did pull up the grass for a little bit. Just an example. The one thing I know, and you can see it on the left side of the screen here, and you can see it on the inset that we put in. I do feel like the tall 3DG is a little bit too green. I would
Yeah.
love it if it blended a
Okay.
little bit better.
I was
It
just
stands
gonna
out a little.
say it's the shade of the green just a tad.
Correct.
Doesn't
If he
quite match.
just
It's
moved that
close.
shade of the green down just a smidge,
And you know
it'll
what
get a
it
little
is?
bit darker.
It's so he has two different blades going on here. It's one of
Yep.
the blades.
It's one of the blades. It's the lighter. I think it's the lighter of the two blades.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
And so that was it, a very minor tweak, but you can even see it by the golf bags on the left there. It looks a little bit too, it's the wrong shade of green, I should say. Not too
Yeah.
green, it's the wrong shade of green.
It's the one thing I think that sticks out right now.
Yep.
Yep.
I took this one because, again, looking back from 5 back down to the shot, was the terrain mountains look great in the background. Like, I just thought it was a good looking shot. You don't, I mean, you could put some nice little billboarded trees on there. I don't know what the terrain is. It might just be grass, maybe like that. There may not be trees.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was a mountainy course. It didn't play like a mountainy course, so I didn't really
It
feel
seems
like it
kind
was
of
missing.
Australia-like, that kind of
It does.
bare.
It feels a little Australia-ish, and so I just thought it was really good and really, really well done. It was a really nice looking shot. Again, a little too green on that. You see it up front here, but
Yeah.
nice shading, nice course lines, mow lines in the fairway there. Overall, really, really good.
So my tip would be so see this rough
Yep,
area down here, and there's really two different colors of green on that rough. There's a light
yep,
and a dark. I think you can. I don't know off the top of my head how to do it. I'd have to experiment, and I couldn't even tell you. You could. I think you should be able to eyedropper that and use those two colors as the colors of your grass, or
yep,
and match
yep,
those, because then I think it would be damn perfect. Yeah.
yep. Agreed. The other thing I do sometimes is use your strategy for creating the cloud with
Yes.
meshing two together,
Yep.
and then eyedropper that mesh together and use
Yep.
that as your
In Photoshop.
foundation, and then you tweak from there. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Billboards are again better, way close, just really good. The back ones are pretty darn good. The lighter ones up front need a little bit of tweaking, but for what we have been seeing, really really well done on billboards. It's pretty darn close. And I by the way, I had to fly around again like an asshole to go look and find the
Yeah.
billboard
Because
section.
we're both
You cannot
dickheads. Yeah.
you cannot see it from the course. There were no billboard issues from the
Yeah.
course.
I tell you what I
This
think
was
he did do well here though was so many people when they do their billboards, they only play with the color and
yeah,
like the tint, and they don't
yeah,
touch the specular. You can
yep,
touch that and see how his trees way back here they're not 100%. These ones back here, they're not 100% like green. They have a little bit of
yep.
like this white,
The
which
dark,
then,
yep.
yeah. So that's a good move on his part. Maybe I think what you're saying is maybe just the colors off a tad, but man, we're being really,
Color need to be a little darker on that one
yeah,
patch of trees, but that's
yeah,
it.
we're being, yeah. Because
It's
just
nitpicking.
because we have to find something.
Yep. Like this to me again goes to detail.
Oh,
Look at
this
the
is
detail.
what is that, like stone? Like,
Like a stone texture
oh, I love it.
surrounding the tee boxes that by the way are absolutely perfectly flat.
Yes, yeah, yeah. And not
Just
only that, but they don't. Oh, yeah, that takes some time too because, yeah, well done. Nice.
yeah, really really well done. And then I did another there's an inset on one more from here.
All right.
Um Oh, I guess yeah, that was it. Which is coming up to the clubhouse, custom
Oh, is this
clubhouse.
is 18?
This is
Yeah, it's a
18.
great approach.
It's a great approach shot. I don't know who did.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know if
assuming
he
he did
did
the
that.
clubhouse.
Yeah, that looks like it could be a DPR house builder clubhouse.
It does. It does. It
Yeah,
looks really good. It was nice. I will tell you also, Master. There were unique sounds on different individual
nice. I
holes.
like it.
There
Good
were
touch.
there were animations all over the course. I only grabbed one. When I played through all 18, he's got 4 or 5 that I saw. I got to the point where I was on the tee box waiting for an animation. And it was so it's a fun course.
Oh, I like the. I think these were the stock hedges,
I think so.
and I like his variation is perfect.
Yep.
I like how they're not all uniform. They are
They're not all
slightly different.
uniform.
So
Yep.
I'm digging it.
Good job.
So then the PGA stopped this week. So Bay
Bay
Hill by
Hill
Packman. So this is, I would say, this had to be a labor of love for him, right?
had to have been. I don't know what time span he had to do
He
this,
was up
but
late, I think, a couple nights working on this.
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
had some late night conversations with DPR, getting some things fixed. 8
Yep.
revisions in 1 week. I'm sure
Yep.
Cook was ready to strangle him.
I
But
know he had some performance issues out of the gate,
yep,
but got them all
there it
resolved
is.
and
V4.
yep,
Yeah.
it's so good. The
Wow.
blending between it's subtle, but you guys can see it. If you look at the left side of the tee box, the blending between the tee box to the blend to
Right here.
the semi into the rough, there are no hard lines.
Yeah.
Everything blends gradually like like natural.
The funny thing is, if you're not
And
a designer, you might not see that because people can do sat shader in the past to cover that, but now you don't need to do that. And that
yep. Yeah, it looks so good. And he put carpets in it and he did a good job. I hate the course. from a playability standpoint, I love the course from a design standpoint.
Yeah, yeah. This is
I took this shot for reflections. This is number 3 over the water.
yep.
And there's a lot going on here. All the rock work he did, you can see in the distance in front of the green there.
Well, he was.
I
They were having a lot of discussions about the reflection approach, the dimensions of those, and I think there's been kind of a change of
yeah,
how those should be done, which means I really I need to go back and update my reflection probe video for people
yeah.
because some things have definitely changed with that.
It was an interesting conversation about the size of the reflection box and what gives the best
Yeah.
results.
Now I had. Well, I'm not going to get into that's too much detail for people listening. I had done some research and I thought that was the case with those, but I never had much. So now I have to go back and kind of revisit those dimensions and play with it
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, this is just, I mean, these are perfect. These are
They're
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
They're perfect. And they're perfect from where the ball lands. Like the ball lands there, that is what you're looking at from that's the most common landing area. This was, and this goes back to some of the conversations we had a few episodes ago. Look at all the houses he planted.
That's
I think
insane.
there's only 2 or 3 models.
Yeah. I mean,
He
yeah.
he changed roof colors.
Yeah, and like you told me this earlier, and I was like, holy shit, how many different houses are out there? But yeah, if you can just vary the roof color, the wall color, and you got
Yep,
3 models, and it's
it's
the math
infinite.
equation, right? Which is 3 by 3 by 3. Now all of a sudden you have, 18 different variations, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And he planted them all over the course. I do
Yeah.
not envy the amount of planting he did.
No, I mean he's so efficient with the way he does. I kind of, well, I'm definitely a little jealous because I can't work like that.
Yeah, I'm too slow. And then again, I didn't get as many golf course shots of this because everybody's playing
Yeah,
this course
this
this
has
week, and
got
I
to be
played
in
it
our
3
dire,
times.
right? In our dire,
Yeah,
it's got to be in our
I
dire.
I don't
Does
know.
he Pac-Man
Maybe
do blender work? Does he do some?
Pac-Man's pretty talented. I don't know if he does blender work, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did.
No, definitely don't surprise me. I just didn't know if he. I feel like the Patreon guys. Well, I know Tech will do it, but he charges an arm and a leg. I'm not sure what Pac-Man. I don't know.
I don't know. It's good though. It may be an Ardire.
It's
It
good.
may be a JG.
And the funny thing is, looking at
Um,
this building, it's not that complicated. It just has a lot of windows in it. So if you
yeah.
find the right windows, that's all you really need for this
I
clubhouse.
actually think, but I will tell you, looking and playing with the house builder and looking at this house up close now, those windows look like they're right out of the house builder.
Okay. I haven't played with the
So I
house builder
actually
yet.
think this might be a DPR house builder build. And
Yeah.
that tool, by the way, is so good.
Ah,
I suck at Blender, and I've been building clubhouses for my courses
I
with
got to
it.
play with it because I think I could use that as like kind of a very efficient way to build something, and then I can take
Yep,
my Blender skills and like lift it up and just save myself a lot
yep,
of time. There's some stuff I still
yep.
have to do in Hershey to some Blender work, so I have to
So
dig into
this
that.
is actually the practice tee. So go back to the earlier conversation. If you go and use the practice tee, this is looking
Oh,
back at the clubhouse from the tee from the practice
okay,
tee.
gotcha, gotcha. Yep. So then we have True North by the great Bengini. um, so this is a course he released for beta, and he put some. So this is a perfect example. When he released this for beta, I think it was like had to be a month ago. He put some screenshots in, and I said, "Holy shit, that looks really good." So I played through it, and I gave him some initial feedback, and so just make sure, like again, when you release courses, to attach something to it. But man, put your description in here because I want to know what's the deal with this course, right? Um, so
And let's call it out. He's blue. This is his first published course. So I just
yes,
double checked
yes,
it.
and
So
great.
congrats.
Do not be like shy about saying stinger eye. Give me my blue, right? Make me blue. Go in there and say, "Yo, I'm due for blue." There is no reason you shouldn't ask for that, right?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Now, I turned this on and I immediately was like, what is amazing? We have so many good courses this week, but they're so different, right?
Yes.
This
Yes.
one looks like to me like a dark Disney fantasy course, like dark
Pirates of
woods.
the Caribbean gonna be coming along
That or the wolf is going to come out. The big bad wolf comes out. It just kind of not creepy. I don't want to say creepy because that makes it sound bad, but kind of a little bit of a darkness to it, which I like.
yeah.
Okay, nothing
Sorry,
wrong with
not
that
pirates,
whatsoever.
dude. Jungle Boat. I was thinking, not pirates.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, yep,
And there's nothing wrong with that. I like it actually. It's different. Um,
yep.
so that first of all, let me get that out of the way. The only thing when I turned this on, I was like, wow, that looks really thick and lush. Performance did, it was a little, it was my computer's humming. You see, I have a 24 on there on the lower left. Anything under 30, I had a couple dip down into the teens. So I haven't heard if anyone's had any problems with this. I know you got a pretty decent GPU and it was struggling, right?
Well, I wouldn't use struggling. I mean, I'm running a 4070 Ti.
Yeah, you're fine, but for that, it was running under.
It was, yes, and I was running 80 frames on most of the courses that I'm running. Let me put it this way: all the courses that we're talking about today were running for me between 150 and 170 frames. This
Yeah.
one was running between 70 and 80,
Okay.
half of what
Yeah.
the others were.
I know it just makes me cringe when I go on Facebook and people say, "Hey, I'm going to get this laptop. It's got a 3060 in it." And I'm just like, it'll work. People are like, "It'll be fine for 1080." And I was like, "No, just go with the minimum recommendations, like or the recommended recommend. Don't cheap out. Don't cheap,
Yeah,
go with a decent laptop, you know?"
yep,
Um
agreed.
so I love this course. It reminds me, and this is a little bit it reminds me a little bit of Sanctuary. Um,
Mm,
there's lots of like
mm,
just these rolling elevation change, not as extreme as Sanctuary, but just looks freaking great. I mean,
yeah,
the
I love
vegetation.
this course.
I love how so on. I don't know if this was. I feel like on the right there's a little bit of a different vegetation that's on the left, but I love it. It's just so these flowers, and this is like earlier I said, hey, had those flowers come up. Here you can see them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
and
they come up, and I oh man, I
And
like it.
everything on this screen, everything blends, and I mean everything. The cart path
It's
blends into
artistic.
the rough, the T markers, and even the sign up there. Everything
Yeah,
blends
it
together
just seems
beautifully.
so natural, right?
Yeah,
And his
yeah,
gradient fog is perfect. Notice
yes,
we're just starting to get a smidge of it right past the end here. So
yep,
what it does is I can't tell if his billboards are okay or not. Or
yep.
actually, I bet
It's
actually
smart.
his
It's
billboards are good. Let's put it that way. And no one's they're never perfect, but the perfect amount of fog is the last thing you need to cover that up and disguise it, right? Too
yep,
much fog makes it look goofy, right? But
yep.
this is good. I
If you
it's
have
great.
questions on gradient fog, just ping us. Well, it's
Yeah,
easy. We'll give. I'm sure
yeah.
Master probably has a video on it somewhere.
No, I don't. I don't have anything on
Oh,
gradient fog.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll walk you through it. It takes 2 seconds to put it in.
Man, the grasses here look good. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the cart
I think
path.
my only concern is, in order to make it look so good, you put so much vegetation, and that could be
Yeah.
what's hurting his performance.
I think what he should do is do the technique, maybe, I'm not sure if he did this or not, where you can plant the same grass twice, but have one
Yep,
flavor of it render off earlier.
yep, yep, and
Um,
maybe you have to combine that with I don't know what texture he's using underneath that, and you can hide some patches
yeah,
with the texture, you
but
know?
he's got a great eye here for color, though. Man, he's got
Yeah,
a good eye.
so good.
Good eye.
Yep.
So I had a giggle about this one. So we're gonna get you good. We're gonna get you good here. So I'm gonna be the asshole. So I'm out there flying around because I'm checking out this course, and I go up there and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like a mask or something
Mask,
floating up
yeah,
there?
exactly.
And I go, it is just a random mesh. So you must have pulled in a mesh maybe imported it in, maybe your position, you fat fingered something, but it's up there floating in the middle of the air, and it's just a funny one. Because I've done it. I probably have this stuff from some players on my course that no one's seen yet. It just happened that I saw it.
And it's
So
not impacting any performance or anything like I
no,
mean, it's not like play, it doesn't hurt your golf
no.
game, you're not gonna hit it with your
And
ball or
I just
anything.
happened to see it. I don't even think it's like I think it's towards the outer boundary of the course. I just thought it was funny. I couldn't even tell you where it's at, honestly. Maybe if you get up and fly around, you might be able to see it if you're looking at it from the
Well, you know
right
what's
angle.
funny though? If you looking at this now, if you look in the mini map, look at the mini map, okay?
Hmm.
It's the same shape as that floating. It's almost like it's the lake.
Oh, you're right.
It's the lake mesh. It might be duplicated, and then one of them is floating way high above it for
Uh-huh.
some reason.
So I'm wondering if he went out and he like did everything through Blender again and maybe didn't delete that one
You
or
couldn't find it, and
but
so he
couldn't.
did, ran it through Blender and pulled. Yeah,
Where did it go? All right, I'll just do another one. Oh,
but it
maybe
looks
it's
like the lake.
it could be yes. So what hole is this? Eight. No, I was in free flight mode over 9 on this, so that's where I found it initially. But yeah, it might be right above that lake. You're funny, you just spotted that. Totally. It is totally it's the water plane, right?
It's the water plane, yeah.
No, it wouldn't be the water because the water plane would fill that in. I bet it's the base. It's the base.
I would think the base would be carved out more though, but it's hard to tell from
Ah,
this angle.
yeah, it is hard to tell. It's funny though. I like it. It's good. Thanks. Yeah,
Okay,
that was a good giggle for me. Thank you.
that was fun. That was fun. I listen before
And
we do best picks.
and before I'll go first this week because you went first last week.
Okay, okay. I want to. I think we want to give a huge shout out to all the designers this week. Y'all's releases were good. Were so
Yes.
good across. This was hard to choose.
I tell you
But
what, not hard. It was fun.
it was fun. It wasn't like
It was
everybody did
so
such a great
nice
job.
opening up every course and going, huh, this is
Huh?
good stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
and they were different.
because there are many times when frankly I open up a course and I'm like, oh boy, I don't know if we should talk about this. Because
Yeah, there's been a couple.
there's been a couple when I'm just like, I don't want to say this, but let me tell you that if we don't review a course, it's probably because it probably maybe shouldn't have been released.
There's a listen. I think when we look at the list of courses that we want to talk about, there's a
Yeah.
couple of reasons. There could, to be fair,
I hate being an
it,
asshole, right?
no. But listen, but to be fair, it could be the sheer number. We've had weeks where we can't cover 25 courses in one episode, so we pick and choose. You keep pouring.
I'm on. Look,
It could. You're almost there. You're
I
almost get it.
got.
It could be because like this week, Run had two courses. We did one, not the other. They're both
Oh yeah, they're
fantastic. We
both
just
fine.
didn't have, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
When we
another
have
reason
18, we're not doing all 18.
we're not doing all 18. And the third reason is, course might not have should have been released. There should have been some more work on it. And we're not going to tell you which ones fall into what category, but
And I'm gonna let's put it this way. The community in general, the guys, the us, the guys like we who've been around for a little while now. We haven't done a good job of, I think, illustrating what things you should be checking in,
yes.
and that's coming.
Yeah,
Um,
no one wants to release a course that needs this stuff. So
yeah,
we're gonna. And I actually spent about an hour on Discord chatting with Stinger today about the beta process and what's coming. And we've got a really good plan going forward. There's a little bit of work to do before we release stuff, but news for you,
oh,
we
oh,
will be unveiling the new plan here in our episode. Not
that
today,
oh,
but in
I was like,
B2B.
I'm not
Sorry, not
prepared to
today.
talk.
Sorry. In B2B, we'll be using our between
Oh,
two
really?
biomes to roll out the new beta process once we get
Sweet.
all the yep. So stay tuned.
All right. Well, wow, that's exciting.
I know. See. All right.
Oh, so
Must
must play of the
play.
week. I think I changed my mind 5 times. How many
I
courses
have
are
two.
there? 8 courses. I
8
changed my
courses.
yes. Even as we were going through these, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, do I pick
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah.
So well, my train of thought here. First thought, I was thinking Bay Hill, but like that's like a cop out. Like it's V4. That's where the PGA is playing. I'll be honest, like we're playing in my indoor league. I'm playing Bay Hill next week. All right.
Got
So
it.
so
Got
you'd
it.
say, oh, that's got to be your must play. But it's like to me, it's like okay, is my must play for me, or is my must play for my indoor golf league? If it's for my indoor
For
golf
you.
league,
No, for you. For
yeah. If
you.
it's my indoor golf league, I'm gonna pick Bay Hill because
I don't care about your golf league.
okay,
I care
all right.
about what you want to do.
I like the East Sussex course. Is that West?
You just
Yes.
like saying it.
No, but I like the East and West East Sussex courses, and that has the yes, it does
Okay.
have the. I do like sex. I mean those courses.
So the
Um,
sex courses. You
the
like the
sex
sex
courses,
courses.
yes.
The sisters.
And the main reason because I do think they're well done. I like the
Yeah.
courses themselves. It fits my style of. I'm not a great golfer. I like the driving range experience. I have to admit, I Gojo Holo. Thank you for switching my mind around on that. I'll be the first one to admit when I was wrong. My opinion was wrong. I thought that was a wasteful feature. Good job on that. Thank you actually for writing to me before when those were released, and because you knew they were going to be on the show and saying, "Hey," because I would have completely not, because I don't run the beta software. I don't like running the beta software. I like
Yep.
reliable
Yep.
soft.
I don't
So
either.
those two courses are my must play this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I have changed my mine multiple times as well, including during the recording of this episode. Like I came in saying, "Here's my must play," and then I've changed it 3 or 4 times. I'm also Pac-Man. Nothing on your design. I'm not going to choose Bay Hill, but for a different reason, because of the 13 that I put up in my lead on hole
Oh,
5 with 3 balls in the water.
dude, that's a
Um,
that's a douchey move, right, dude? Come
Oh,
on, because
I
you're a bad golfer. That's your
because
come
I'm a bad
on.
golfer and I suck. No, I love Bay Hill. I think it's a great design and stuff. I don't know why. I just can't. I'm between two. I
Okay.
think I know where I'm going. But I am between True North
That's a good
and
one.
and and Royal Crambia. God, I can't ever pronounce it.
Cranberry. It's cranberry.
Cranberry. Royal and the Australian course. And I think I'm actually going to go with Royal Cranberry. Oh my god, because I can't say it. I don't know what it is. It shouldn't count because I can't say it. And here
Cadbury. It's almost
Royal.
Easter.
Hold on, I got to look it up now. It is Royal Canberra.
Okay.
Canbera.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going
You
with
just
it
like the
because
damn koala bear.
I do. I like it was fun having animations pop up across the course. I know from a golfing perspective it can be a little distracting. Having different
He'll get
audio,
complaints about it, but fuck
yeah, but
them.
having different
It's your
audio
course.
triggers that come up.
Yes.
It was a fun course that I really had a ton of fun playing. And then True North, I would choose True North over it because I think it is probably one of visually the nicest courses that we've looked at in a long time.
Yeah.
If it just wasn't for the performance issues,
I
I'm
agree.
concerned some folks
That
can't do it.
that was the only thing that took it off my list was like, oh, the performance of it. I can't
Yeah,
pick it. I can't do it.
but it is the visual aspect of it is really really good.
Yeah.
If he could figure out how to keep the visual aspect and get the performance where it should be, it's a hands
Yeah.
down winner.
I just like the fact that there were so many great courses this week that were so
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I love that. I love it.
And listen, I'll throw this out there. If any of the designers want to come on and join us on the show and
Yeah,
act
let
like an
us
idiot
know.
like we do, let us
Yeah.
know.
You
We'd
gotta
love to have you
you
guys
gotta
on.
get a little sloppy.
Yep.
You gotta laugh.
Got to
Can't
show up
you
with
can't take
your
yourself.
favorite.
You gotta be self-deprecating. Yeah.
Yeah. Show up with your favorite libation of whatever flavor it is. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And give you water. I don't care. Um, and be willing to have some fun.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Um, how many you want to take? You want to take a bet on how many courses get launched next week between
Ooh,
this
I
week and
like
next week?
this.
I think we should do.
Oh.
We got to queue up a new segment. This is going to be the Karnak for those either old like me and the old Johnny
Dude.
Carson. We'll do our Karnak segment. How many courses? Yeah, you be the scorecard. How many courses get released between now and next
All right,
week? Now and
since I picked my course, you get your numbers first. So whoever,
okay,
all right?
okay. And this is going to be from, let's say, starting when?
Well, now because right.
Now, so it's Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay, Friday evening. From Friday evening until next Friday evening when we normally record.
Yeah.
So a week.
Yeah. Yeah.
9.
8.
You were just waiting to go one below me. You were what an ass. That was so good. I love that answer more than anything. That was so good.
Bang.
You need to drink more beer doing these. This is good.
Hey, it's in my belly.
You did better than I. I have not finished it.
Well,
I
you're
believe it or not,
drinking something shitty there, so
I
sorry.
am.
I'm drinking something yummy.
I'm gonna go pick up my little one from school and then open up some of the good stuff when we get back.
Okay, well, I'm not driving anywhere. I just drank a
Well,
pitcher of
fair.
beer. We got to do one of these later so you can get sloppy with me, not have to worry about
I do
real
like
life
that. We
things.
record them. We need to get to about 9 o'clock my time or 8 o'clock my time, and
Let's
then
do that sometime. Yeah,
yeah, then I can actually like have the bottle with me.
yeah. We'll have to look at my schedule sometime when I can be up. 'Cause I have to be up at 5 in the morning tomorrow.
Oh, and,
Yeah.
and we need a guest on to do that too. A guest has to join us
Oh,
too.
yeah. Maybe even
That would
two.
be
How
fun.
about a
Yeah.
foursome sometime with all this sex going on would be great, right? Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
I'm not even gonna comment on that.
All right, let's put
On
this thing
that
to
note,
bed. This is the longest show ever. It went on too long. All right, we're done.
if you stay to the end, thank you. If not, we'll see you next
All
week.
right, thank you for tuning in. All right, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.